Yeah, we loud, yeah, we gritty. I'm a little frustrated, but I still love my city. Yeah, north side, south side, west, we united.
Happy Friday, Q.
Happy Friday. And isn't it Good Friday?
It is Good Friday. You're right. It's a holy day.
Happy Erection Sunday.
I don't think that's how that phrase goes, but yeah, same to you. Happy Erection Sunday.
Happy Erection Sunday, everybody.
Yeah, except for a certain person who we're going to talk about in a second, but we're going to get there. It's been a crazy week. Pooh Shiesty and his team arrested for kidnapping and robbing Gucci Mane.
I think they wanted to be in jail. I'm trying to think. I haven't followed the story closely, but there's no way that you put rental cars in your name, had a GPS monitor on your ankle. Rental cars have GPS monitors. Rob Gucci Mane and his associates and upload the jewelry on Instagram, book hotels in the area in addition to having a GPS monitor on your ankle, and think you were not going to be caught. What part of that plan seemed mastermind?
I don't think they thought it through.
I don't think they thought past the initial process. There was no plan.
No.
This is the stuff of 9-year-olds. And I don't like to see no black man locked up, but goddamn, bro, you earned that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. Him and his team, they earned them silver bracelets. But that ain't the only thing that's been crazy popping off this week. Pam Bondi, she unemployed. Christy Noem, her husband's a cross-dresser apparently.
Reassigned. Pam Bondi is
reassigned.
But they say there's no job for her.
Well, that sounds like you've been fired.
Well, she can join Jaden Ivey. It's not a good week for MAGA Christians right now.
No, it's not.
Jesus didn't erect for this.
Speaking of Jaden Ivey, segue is right there. The Bulls cut Jaden Ivey after a series of Instagram lives where he denounced the LGBTQ plus community, Catholics, and a bevy of other things. Yeah.
Okay, is the plus like the upgraded version of LGBTQ? Like, do you get more letters and more accommodations than just being a regular LGBTQ?
You get 4K. You get 4K with the plus.
Okay.
Instead of the standard membership.
Definitely don't want to be insulting the plus members. They pay a lot for that membership.
Yes, they do. And they got a lot of power that comes with it.
Jaden Ivey found that out. How do you lose your job and your wife? And you didn't even slide in anybody's inbox. Damn.
Apparently, he has been inboxing and annoying people. But other than the Catholics and the LGBTQ plus community, he called out the NBA for promoting Pride Month, saying it celebrates unrighteousness. He also said the Bulls cut him for conduct detrimental to the team when
he wasn't with the team.
Why they? Yeah. So his question is, why didn't they just say they don't agree with his stance? Why did they say that it was conduct detrimental to the team? And what did I do to the team? What did I do to the players? This is basically everything he said on his Instagram live, his several Instagram lives that are still on his page. Last I checked, there's been a various amount of rants. Q. He was calling out Steph Curry, and one of them.
Steph had the 50 Cent. Why you want to say fuck me for?
One of the holiest players in the league. He said, what did I do? But I'm going to start this conversation right there where he left off. He's claiming the Bulls cut him for a reason that is not consistent with what he believes happened. He doesn't believe that his conduct had anything to do with the team. It's not detrimental. It was just, they just don't like what he said. So I'm going to ask you, Q, first off, where do you think the line is between freedom of speech and consequences as they are given out in professional sports?
The line is underachieving former lottery pick versus Ant-Man using a slur and being all NBA. There's your line. Let's be honest. There is your line. The minute you're not special is the minute you're disposable. That's when your freedom of speech has more consequences and you get that belt to ass. Let's be honest. As far as what Jaden Ivey said, I don't think it's appropriate. I think we should leave marginalized groups alone and not condemn them based on religion. We are in a country that does not have a national religion. So, I mean, if you're going to represent an inclusive company, I think you should leave those hot topics alone. I'm not condemning Jaden Ivey's comments because I do believe in freedom of speech and I do believe in people being able to express their opinion. And at the end of the day, I'm not God. That's for him. I don't judge anybody, but Jaden Ivey felt that's what he needed to do to express. But the consequence of that is you're no longer in the NBA. And you're not good enough to make those comments. I'm gonna be honest. There's a double standard in sports. If that was Michael Jordan in 2026, would he have been waived the next day? Absolutely not. That was Tony Kukoc. Tony would have been fined and benched. He's Caucasian, so he would have been fined and benched. Scottie Pippen, maybe fined and benched. But yeah, I think people aren't understanding that Jaden Ivey's freedom of speech was not compromised. He is continuing to talk on Instagram Live. Nobody is coming and force him to be quiet. But when you represent a league, you represent a franchise, and people are mistaken saying the NBA punished him. The NBA didn't punish him. That was the Bulls. This was dumb. At the end of the day, we just know his Instagram live rants, and as you alluded to prior, he has been preaching inside the locker room. It's probably a culmination of events. One isolated event, even though this was a big isolated event, doesn't generally get a player the boot. There are things that go on away from the cameras, behind the scenes, and they probably just had enough of Jaden Ivey. And apparently, he's been on a religious sabbatical since Detroit, or a religious rant, and that's fine. You are free to worship as you please. I just say that maybe join your tribe, and the cool thing about the Amish is like they're in their own little community with beards and no electricity and the internet. Find your tribe. I'm not here to criticize or judge Jaden Ivey, but find your tribe.
You said it, Q. The thing that got him waived isn't necessarily what he said. It's that he's not good enough to have a controversial opinion on anything.
He can have the opinion. He just probably shouldn't express it to the public.
He can't have a controversial opinion. You're right. He can't express any controversial opinions. He's not good enough. He's averaging 8 points a game. He's hurt right now. He's as you said, a former top 5 pick.
Top 3.
That was even worse. He's a bust at this point, and you come out and you say things that damage the money. I remember a long time ago. I think it was in the night. Well, I think it was around the time David Stern had first implemented that dress code for NBA players. Right? You remember that?
Yeah.
Around the early 2000s. I don't remember what channel this is on. It was probably MTV or something along those lines. They was asking Snoop how he felt about that, because Snoop is big in the basketball community. He's a former hooper. This is Snoop back then. This is before Snoop went MAGA. They asked him what he thought about it. He's like, "Hey, they got to do what they told. I mean, when you're an athlete, you got a boss. I don't have a boss. I'm a musician. I can do what I want." And that's exactly where this is goes. Snoop can have the murder cases. Snoop can have the controversial albums. He doesn't have a boss. He can do those things. The athletes, when you join a team, you got to be a part of a collective, like you said. If this isn't your tribe to be controversial, don't rock the boat. One band, one sound is what they always say, right? If you are out of line, your pitch is too high, your pitch is too flat, you got to go, bro. And you are not the star of this band, and you're not even you're not even Pat Williams. Pat Williams probably would have been able to apologize and keep his role in the squad. You're not even Pat. You got to walk a thin line. You messing with the money, so you're gonna have to get up out of here. Another example, Q. Remember you said if he was good enough, he probably if this was Mike in 2026, he definitely would have got off. Scotty, maybe Tony,
Derrick Rose.
I'm gonna give a name for you. We don't have to do a hypothetical. Kyrie did
Systematic comments, anti-COVID comments.
Damn near the exact same thing. What they do, they said, "Hey, just take a couple of games off. Write us a little apology letter. You can come on back." Jaden, you gotta hit the bricks, bro.
You got to go. And for those of you at home, I made a post on social media and got a lot of feedback saying there controlling freedom of speech. Well, go to your job and say that. Stand in the middle of the kitchen and take a break from the fries and take your headset off for the drive-through and say, "Hey, you gays are irresponsible and see what happens." Or stand in the middle of your floor while you're selling your cell phones at T-Mobile. See what happens. Hop off your forklift and tell the whole company that and see where that gets you.
I'm glad you at least told people that they at least got a forklift license. They not just doing the line.
Let me tell you something. All workers at McDonald's, at Harold's, you are the essential workers. Just put the fries in the bag, bro, but you're essential. I don't care what they pay you. I don't want to make my own fries. I don't want to make my
No,
own frappe. Thank
no.
you. You are needed and you are appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let nobody tell you you're less than anybody else. You keep America running. Well, not running because you keep America fat, but you keep America going. I visit a drive-through at least once or twice a week. I don't eat much processed food, but the once or twice a week that I want to be in that drive-through, I need you all.
I've heard that the Bulls didn't cut him just for this. This has been an ongoing thing. He was speaking out. He was doing this thing on the regular. He had only, to my knowledge, he had only played 2 games with the Bulls, right? Because full disclosure, I'm not a Bulls fan. I want to protect my mental health.
Shame on you.
I could not be a Bulls fan. I like myself, so I'm going to stay away from that. You see what they did. You see what he did to Jaden Ivey, right? But anyway, from what I understand, he played 2 games with the Bulls since being traded to the Bulls, right?
I think 4.
During his time as a Chicago Bull, he has been very preachy with his teammates. There was an incident in which he was with the media. They asked him a direct question about practice. Shout out to Allen Iverson. And he went on a 10-minute rant about, did you have premarital sex with your spouse? Talking to the media about like this.
Fornicating.
Right, that was the word he used, fornication. What sidebar? You're a dork if you use the word fornicate. Just say, hey, do you get pussy? Just say that.
And another sidebar. I don't care how much I love Jesus. I need to test them goods before I marry it. Y'all ain't no way I'm not fornicating. Is you cool? That man died on that cross. Y'all told me he died on that cross for my sin. I'm definitely that's a get out of hell free pass. Like, you get the get out of jail free pass. That's a get out of hell free pass. As far as I'm concerned, as long as I pray, we are saved through the
Absolution. It's
blood.
called absolution.
Well, we are saved. So guess what? Jesus, I'm not gonna do holy matrimony in front of you and the coochie not good. No, sorry. Because then I'm gonna be doing more sins. Now I'm gonna be an adulterer. Now you're gonna be really mad at me. So what do you want out of me, Jesus? What you want? You give me some bad coochie, now I gotta cheat. So I think it's best we fornicate so that we don't have extramarital affairs. Or a lot of extramarital affairs.
Or I mean, just pour some holy water on the twat. You be okay
Pour
there.
some holy water on it. Pray over it. Say your grace over it before you eat. Bow your head.
The issue with the Bulls didn't take extreme issue with what he said is that this has been a recurring thing, right? And he's in practice asking players about their personal life, what type of sins they get down, how they feel about gays and things like that. It's 2026. Your teammate could be gay.
Shout out to Dwight Howard. Shout out Jason Collins.
I was going to say allegedly, but that's fully
I
known.
He the last time he was asked about it, he didn't deny it. He said, "It's none of my friends' business. Ain't none of your friends'
That's
business."
true. That's true.
He sounded like Genuine.
You know what? I don't even think I need to ask him anymore. I saw the tape, bro. I saw the tape.
There's a tape?
Well, you remember that back, what was it, about 10 some odd years ago when he was I think he was with the Sixers.
When he was pinching penises?
Yeah. That's all. I don't need any more proof after that.
And I'm not condemning his lifestyle. Hey,
no,
be free.
No.
But
exactly.
I will say this. I don't care if you're LGBTQ, if you're a head of the sexuals, or you're one of the home of the sexuals. Everything has to be consent. Don't pinch a penis unless that penis wants to be pinched.
We haven't seen Isaiah Cannon since then.
Would you want to be seen? That man might pop up with an NIL deal. Now the Dwight isn't Dwight over in Taiwan?
No, Dwight's back stateside.
He's big three.
I don't know what he's doing, but I know he's going through a divorce with his wife after she was doing another Instagram live, putting coke on camera. So, yeah, Instagram Live is having a moment right now.
I need to get on Instagram Live. That might be a portal to some success. I think Jaden Ivey's followers have doubled since then. And you know why? The narratives they're going to run with, man.
And that's exactly where we need to go with this. Q, you said you don't condemn nothing he said. You said that his crime really is saying it in a place where it's not to be tolerated. He could have kept that to himself, right? But in this day and age, 2026, it's going to get picked up. Things like that are going to get aggregated by one side or the other. You remember Kyrie Irving? He's not a mascot for a particular political ideology. However, in 2020 or 2021, when you had to get the shot and all these other things that was going on, they ran. He became a champion for their cause, right? Now,
side note, Jaden Ivey has gained 61,000 followers since his Instagram. You know what? Somebody's going to have to fall on the sword and make a controversial comment on this here Bear Claw show.
That's your role.
We can rock paper.
You already got that one. You already got that one, champ. I set them up. You knock them down. You just go ahead and you put the controversy out there. Is that probably the worst part about this? Is now they have another mascot for their fake beliefs that they can just pair it out there. Like, look, he's being vilified for hating.
Beliefs.
Well, for his beliefs in anti-gaydom.
They're doing it again.
Yeah. Other than what Jaden said, is what he said and what he stands for worse than actually the bad actors picking it up and propping him up, therefore giving him another springboard, giving him an Enos Cantor sort of platform to continue espousing these beliefs?
Jaden Ivey's comments alone, and this is just my opinion, they could be brushed off. We are a country full of wacky people. I've rode the red line before to go to school. I've seen crazy people a lot growing up. So no, what's worse is that they're making this into something political. That's the worst part. When it's not political, it's just one kid having a mid-20s crisis. We all had our mid-20s crisis. He's having his. His frontal lobe isn't even. His frontal lobe is.
No, you're right. You're right. You said two excellent points right there. As a father of a young 20-year-old, I cannot stand how they think they know everything. I'm like, you're not even fully developed yet.
I got teenagers.
Exactly. You know too.
They know everything. And everything they see now is better than anything that's been before.
Mm-hmm.
So my 16-year-old son, he was a LeBron is the GOAT. And now Shea is the GOAT.
Right.
Why is Shea the GOAT now? Can the man get some longevity? Can he get multiple rings and multiple MVPs, multiple scoring championships before we call him the GOAT? And Wemby is going to be the GOAT to supplant him. That's
the first thing you said that I agree. And the second thing is, yes, the worst part about this is going to get picked up by bad actors who want to do nothing but profit off of this, profit off trafficking more hate. If Jaden Ivey had just said this and no one paid him any attention, they would have looked at him like he was just one of them, like one of them crazy people on the red line. He's just one of them other people standing in front of Jules on 87th and Dan Ryan, just yelling into the air. Just, Jesus is coming back, fuck the gays, and boo, 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 boo. And everybody would just walk right past and like, yeah, okay.
Wasn't it a dude downtown? I don't know if he's still there. That stands there with the little booth.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know. Yeah, bro. I
ain't seen him in some years. Hey, Jaden Ivey can join him. If you're still in Chicago, get you a little bullhorn, bro. And the great thing is, that guy started this before the social media monetization craze. If he started this now, I don't know where he's at. I don't know if he's listening. Dude, get you a Facebook account, Instagram, YouTube account. Monetize yourself screaming into the bullhorn with your hate. You're going to have about 100,000 MAGA followers by the end of the month.
We would have just excused all of this as just him having a mental episode. And Q, this wasn't not known before the Bulls traded for him, right? He had a Instagram live after he broke his leg, I think it was a year or so ago, in which he said that he was abusive to his wife and he was espousing all these other controversial beliefs, but people just brushed it off. No one picked it up. That's where we're going with this, right? People just say, okay, he's probably just in a mode. He's probably just in a difficult moment right now. This was known. This wasn't a secret, and the Bulls still traded for him. I've had differing opinions on what the Bulls did at the trade deadline. Some saying, yes, good. Finally, you decided to tank. Some saying you decided to tank too late. But being that they traded for a guy that basically gives them nothing now, they had to cut a month later. Is this just another failure for this organization that's owned by Jerry Reinsdorf, ran by his son, Michael Reinsdorf?
Yes. You didn't do due diligence. Or maybe you did do your due diligence. Maybe you picked up a guy that you knew you can waive and help the tank. I don't know. But it just seems like it's another footnote in the Bulls post Jordan era where they just continually do not do their homework and do not have a pulse on the NBA or the players in the NBA, which is crazy because your basketball team has to employ players in the NBA. They're not a good judge of talent. They're not a good judge of character.
Like I said at the opening of the show, it's been a week. We do hope that Jaden Ivey does get the help that he clearly deserves. Because it feels like he's having an episode. Watching those lives, I couldn't sit through them all. I'm like, dude, he sounds like he's just rambling on 63rd Street. But after everybody's done parroting, getting what they can get out of this, he's going to be forgotten. He's largely a nobody. No disrespect to him. As we said earlier, if he was more famous, if he was a better player, this would have been handled a different way. But there's another athlete this week who's also struggling, having another mental health crisis. Your boy Tiger Woods. I don't even know what to say about him. When I say I want Jaden Ivey to get some help, I mean it. But I really want Tiger Woods to say some help. I want his Kaplasian ass to really get some help because the boy is trying to kill himself.
Do you think you can get CTE from swinging a golf club too hard?
You can definitely get CTE from hitting your head against that windshield too many times. I know that much.
Can you get CTE from an injured knee? Because Jaden Ivey is definitely experiencing CTE crisis. These two guys have CTE. The NFL has been putting extensive money in research and implementing rules to prevent brain injuries. But I think the NBA and golf need to join.
Mm-hmm. Why not? Why not? Because Tiger Woods, you know how we talk about Tom Brady having 2 careers, Michael Jordan having 2 careers, LeBron James having 2 separate Hall of Fame careers, like the other 2 guys I mentioned. Tiger Woods has also had 2 careers. There was Tiger Woods before he got found to be an adulterer, and everything's after that. We spoke about this new generation. Like, they don't even remember the first one. They have if you bring up Tiger Woods, they will not tell you the most dominant athlete
in the
last 30.
That's the shame about this. Tiger Woods has a case to be one of the most, if not the most dominant athletes, sports figure, of all time. If he didn't go through all this personal drama and breaks in his career and accidents.
Right. He went from being on top of the world and secretly, banging Hooter waitresses, without us knowing about it, to now he's got an addiction to pills. He's got addiction to driving wild high. He got addiction and he still has an addiction to banging fours.
Shout out to Angelo.
Yeah, shout out to the homie Angelo. I don't know where we are. I mean, mental health in this country is still kind of like looked down upon. But in the opioid crisis, it's still, it's still mostly a white person thing. And Tiger Woods, hey man, he does play white. I mean, yeah. So so he is in that phase. And did you see when he got arrested? And when the police said, "Hey, you got to come over here. Hey, you got to come over here. You got to stay close to us." And Tiger Woods got off the phone. He's like, "Oh, I was just on the phone with the president, bro." Bro, your car is upside down. Let's knock it off, okay? If I'm going to arrest you for being and you're Tiger Woods, I don't care that you're on the phone with the president. You still got to go sit down for a second. But past the levity of the conversation, Trump did have Tiger and a bunch of other people in the White House recently to talk about fixing sports and all the other stuff lately. Should there be a conversation had about having mandatory mental health awareness with these athletes? Mandatory substance abuse programs or anything like that. Shouldn't that, if Trump is going to use his power to put his nose in the sports, isn't that where you think that is a perfect place to have
I mean,
to be thumb of the scale?
I think I want to go further. I think RFK and they've made announcements and changes that they're going to get back to more physical fitness. I haven't been in grammar school in a long time, but they're going to emphasize health and physical fitness in grammar school. More fitness classes. I think
Hmm.
instead of just getting kids in shape, we need to make sure that their mental health is progressing the right way. I think, we go through school and we've been taught gym class and health. I think there needs to be more attention, not just for the athletes, but for the kids growing up, progressing through grade school and high school. I think we need to focus on that even earlier than when these people become adults and high profile sports figures and celebrities.
Agree, man. Because what's going on? Because not we talked about Jaden Ivey and what his comments will disparages a whole community and inflames hatred towards those communities. Tiger Woods, his actions can kill somebody. Not to mention himself.
Yeah. Yeah. In all seriousness, reckless driving in cars, like I don't think people realize exactly how many deaths are accounted for in Illinois and Chicago, um, that are vehicular related. We already know Chicago, has a lot of murders per year, but I don't know if people are aware that the vehicular deaths are right on par, and sometimes they're high. In Illinois, you're more likely to die from a car accident, or being hit by a car than you will from a murder in the entire state. So I've never understood why it's not more focus, more outrage on these car accidents, and maybe more enforcement to driving. Now we all run late and drive fast, and especially Chicago, we don't like to wait at red lights. I mean, seriously, we got to do better with our responsibility for driving. We got to be more responsible on the road.
You're right.
Need a Garrett's popcorn break.
All right, let's segue to other things that happened this week. NFL owners meeting. All the head honchos, all the HNICs. Well, ain't that many HNICs. Just Aaron Glenn, and that's it. Do better. Do better, NFL.
Sometimes even when you're HNIC, you're not really an HNIC, and I want my third round picks,
And the Bears are still pressing for that. The
and they
Bears are still on
should
the NFL's. I'm with you.
go to the SCOTUS if you got to.
You seen how Karaji Brown stood up. That's another thing that happened this week. Trump is the first sitting president to pull
SCOTUS
up to
versus
hear
SCOTUS.
arguments, and they should keep pressing for that compensatory pick. And just because they said 2026 is been decided, that don't mean 2027 and all this other stuff. I still can't get my picks down the line. So you think you think the NFL is scared of politicians? I know you heard that the Florida Attorney General is going into that DEI handbook and trying to get the NFL, trying to put pressure on the NFL to get rid of the Rooney Rule. Do you think the NFL is feeling pressured about that, and that's kind of why the Bears are getting stuck up right now?
That's a complicated answer because a lot of the politicians voice their displeasure, and the political party voice their extreme displeasure with Bad Bunny and the Super Bowl performance. NFL went right along with it. The NFL is a powerful entity in its own right. They have a big consumer fan base, and they're not worried about the fans that cap online and say, ever since Kaepernick, I'm not going to watch a single game. They don't miss you, first of all, because new fans are birthed every year. One. Two, you're probably lying anyways. If Colin Kaepernick kneeling at a flag stopped you from watching football, then you were never that big of a football fan. Anyways,
Mm-hmm.
I remember Kerry Collins used the N word in his locker room, and that's why I believe that's what severed his relationship with the Carolina Panthers. I still watch football. Bill Romanowski was spitting on people. We've heard NFL players do and say outlandish things, some discriminatory towards black people. We've seen black quarterbacks not be a thing at all. Even if you were a collegiate quarterback, you weren't allowed to play in the NFL. That didn't stop us from watching football. So the people who claim that Bad Bunny or Kaepernick or that is going to stop them, I don't think the NFL's scared. However, this is a very inflammatory climate. So I don't know if I can answer it. I would say that the NFL is probably going to stand its ground because I don't know if politicians from either side can stop the NFL from reaching the billions it reaches.
This whole facade about DEI and everything like that, it's the only
Disingenuous, misleading, a lie.
You had it at disingenuous. The whole thing, the only, I guess, sword and shield that the government has is like, we'll pull funding back. As you said it right there, the NFL prints money. I don't know what kind of federal funding or federal money the NFL gets, but I know it does have that antitrust thing that they're going, and you can play with that all you want. But as you stated already, the NFL's got deep pocketed donors.
And the other thing is, if you're a politician, I don't know if you really want to bark up that tree. In addition to politicians wielding power, a lot of their power comes from these corporations and these billionaires behind the scenes. You go barking up that NFL tree, and they go put a lot of their money and their donations behind a different politician, that tree might fall on you. So I don't know if threatening the NFL is something that either political party really wants to do. Like you said, they got deep pockets and a lot of influence. So things can get really ugly. Things can get really ugly for your party if the NFL decides to fight back. Not only do they have billionaires that have a lot of money, just as important, they got athletes that wield a lot of popularity in their city. So getting into a power struggle with the NFL, I actually don't know if that's the best thing you want to do.
And to be fair, these people only pick on marginalized people. They only pick on people that's weak. They're not picking on billionaires. This is all the billionaires, all of the where you get all the stuff paid for. Trump has always got his hand out, right? Who is going to have his hand out if he piss off 30 billionaires, 32 billionaires? Not a wise move. So I agree. This is just political posturing. And since we agree on that point, why aren't the NFL running the Bears our bread? Give us our picks.
Clearly, the NFL is trying to sabotage this potential dynasty. We already know the NFL loves parity. The NFL knows Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson are coming to dominate the NFL landscape. We all know how people hated the Patriots dynasty. The NFL does not like dynasties. They're doing everything they can to stop this Chicago Bears dynasty.
There it is right there. We uncovered the conspiracy. That's the one conspiracy I agree with.
It's a good one.
Exactly. They're trying to stop our shine. Everyone's always hating on Chicago, but you know what? Chicago always rises above.
They realize this NFC North thing can get out of hand really quickly.
I mean, look at our division. Shout out to Ryan Post. We finna take the North and never give it back.
Never give it back.
Jared Goff, his career is about to be over, and the Lions are falling off. The Vikings still got J.J. McCarthy on the roster, and Harrison Smith is no longer there. That's their guy. He's no longer there. They're done. And the Packers are the Packers. No one gives a fuck about the Packers. In fact, I'm waiting on Iran. I'm waiting on Iran to send the blitz to Wisconsin. Look it up.
Yeah, we'll find that.
Hey, if there's 49 stars on the flag, and Wisconsin's no longer here, I think it's a better looking flag.
Canada can have them. Can we trade Wisconsin?
Send us Toronto, and then Sid, you can have all of Wisconsin.
All of Wisconsin.
Other than that,
even the Dales.
Who's gonna miss the Dales?
Last time I was at the Dales, I don't even know how this happened. A kid pooped on the floor by the swimming thing.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe the
Swimming
Dales is nothing but MRSA.
I'm if I want to swim in feces, I can go to Lake Michigan.
Hey. Rainbow Beach, at least.
Lake Michigan, north of the border.
Right. The part of the part that's by Milwaukee.
And east of us. Indiana, this
well, since you took it there. Indiana.
Perfect segue.
That was another topic. That was another hot topic during the owners' meetings. I think it was Wednesday. George McCaskey, Kevin Warren, they met the media and they had a stadium update. They said they are planning to make a decision, final decision on where they're going to play, Illinois or the aforementioned Indiana, by late spring, early summer. And it's been pointed out that, that kind of lines up with the end of the Illinois Legislative Assembly, which is on May 31st. Q. Buy or sell, May 31st, deadline for Illinois to give the Bears what they want.
I'm going to say sell. I think the Bears really want to stay in Illinois. So as long as there's hope by the 31st and the ball is a little bit rolling, I want to say that they're not going to make the final decision then. However, I got a question for you. This is an important year for midterms. And in 2 years, we're going to have a presidential election. J.B. Pritzker is a presidential hopeful. He's from Illinois, from your home state. If the Bears go to Indiana, can Pritzker get your vote in the primary or even in the presidential election?
That's tough. Boy. I mean, I don't have an issue with Pritzker. I mean, I voted for him when I did live in Chicago. I think I voted for him more than once. But if you lose the Bears to Indiana,
I'm flipping red. I'm definitely. I'm going in. I'm flipping red if he loses the Bears. You ain't got to worry about getting no. You ain't got to worry about the presidency. I want you out of here as governor. That little Darren guy, whatever his name is, the little Darren guy from Southern Illinois, you can have the state, bro. You can have the state if you can keep the Bears. I do not want to be an Indiana. Absolutely do not want to be an Indiana.
And you heard, I know you heard what McCaskey had to say about this. He said no matter where we pick, it's going to be an adjustment for Bears fans. If we go to Arlington Heights, Bears fans are going to have to adjust going all the way up there to watch the games. If we go to Indiana, Bears, it'll still be another adjustment. So it's at some point in the future, Bears fans will just get over it, basically.
So is the Soldier? I saw another third proposed plan, another Soldier Field renovation. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it. It's pie in the sky.
That's what I thought. You're not going to renovate Soldier Field again, right? It's over for Soldier Field.
Though it was AI for one. It was an AI rendering, and it sounds good. It's a lot cheaper. It's only like $700 million as opposed to like almost $10 billion what's it going to cost for anything else. What they would do is put some type of see-through hat on Soldier Field.
No.
And it adds seats, but at this, you're too late in the game for this. And
Soldier Field is outdated. You're not putting a hat on them anymore. We're not doing that no more. You're not gonna just throw a 27-piece in makeup on it. It's cooked. It's done. She's not attractive anymore.
I agree. As sad as it is to say,
think you're just gonna put a BBL on Soldier Field? I'm not tolerating a bad BBL put on Soldier Field. Nothing against BBLs, but not in this case. You know, some of these BBLs are wonderful. Shout out Janice Shakia Hart. If you haven't seen that profile, look it up. If you got a Twitter, go look it up. That's a fun page.
Something else that was in the news today. She put a Throwback Thursday out there. Like, okay, The
I'm gonna
glow
have
up
to
is
check that
real.
out.
The glow up is real. Just to say, you're not ugly. You're just broke. That's it. But yeah, it's the final days of the Bears playing at Soldier Field are upon us, one way or the other. And even though I don't really like what McCaskey said about Bears fans will eventually get over it, he's right. He's right. I mean, he's right. We gonna follow him.
That's part of the power that the billionaires that they
Mm-hmm.
wield.
Yeah, we gonna watch the squad wherever it is. I mean, I'm not going to Indiana to watch a team unless I got free tickets.
I'm not going
I'm
either.
not going to Arlington. I'm not going to Arlington Heights unless someone gives me free tickets and
I can go to Arlington
pays
Heights.
for my Metro.
I
I'm
can
not
go to
doing it.
Arlington Heights. I can hop on that metro. I can hop on 294. I'll be cool with that. I absolutely do not like going into Soldier Field. Not driving, at least. And
I mean,
I like driving now. I like
mm,
driving, but I would never drive to a Soldier Field game again. If I was to go to a Bears game, I have to get on the metro or somebody got to drop me off. And I can't take Uber. I gotta sleep there the night before.
you get you get dropped off like you going to the rink back in the day. Hey, just 1-800-collect when you're ready to get picked.
You ever got dropped off to a party or to the rink by your parents?
Yeah, I'm like, hey, don't pull up in front though.
No, I think my dad was a troll because he would pull up right in the front. You got everything?
Right. Which is crazy because everybody else there got dropped off too. So I mean, why we don't want to be seen getting dropped off? That was
Yeah,
the funny part being a kid.
man, I would get,
Oh,
hey,
man.
drop me off a block away. I'll walk.
Nah, going to the rink, I don't want to get dropped off a block away because back in the day, that's where you get caught at.
Yeah, half a block away.
Well, shit, if you was going to the route back in the day, it don't matter where you get dropped off. It was on your ass. It was
Yeah.
before it was O Block. Parkway was on that ass. Else other things that came out of the owner meeting Q. So Ben Johnson had the day before, and he had the room buzzing. Everybody was on Caleb's nutsack. They was glazing him from McVay was
He was
out
still
there.
talking about that throw, still buttering them up.
Yeah, still he wasn't the only one. Everybody was like, "Hey, this Ben Johnson Caleb connection is going to be a thing. We got it going." But Ben, he said a lot of things that I liked. And I'm gonna ask you, which one of these things that he said that resonated with you most, that you were most interesting? One, he made a challenge to the defensive backs. He was pretty much frustrated that Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon and Tariq's battling too many injuries. He wants them to stay on the field and show it. He pretty much challenged them to stay healthy, improve themselves on the field this year. Second thing he said, there's going to be a leadership void that Kevin Byard, DJ Moore, that they left, now that they're gone. And he's issuing another challenge to Caleb Williams, Roma Dunze, and Kobe Bryant to step up and fill that void. He has a high confidence in Garrett Bradbury, the new center that's taken over for Drew Dahlman. Drew Dahlman did unexpectedly retire about a month or so ago. He said he's a perfect fit for the Bears' wide zone running scheme. And as you and some other people had criticized Bradbury's pass protection skills, he said that he thinks he's pretty good at pass protection, and he can't wait to have his ass in the air in front of Caleb.
Here's the thing about Bradbury. I looked at just a little bit of his film, just a little bit. So I went to YouTube. I looked a bit at his grades. When I criticize him, he actually moves well in space. He does. It's his anchor that I'm most concerned about.
He gets
It's when
pushed
they
back.
when they line up a nose tackle right over him because he doesn't display the anchor that Dahlman displayed. Anchor. When I say anchor, the ability to withstand the bull rush. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
What Ben Johnson said is not cap. It's not fluff. Bradbury is a very good fit for what they want to do schematically in the run in terms of zone. The guy can get to the second level. He can move. He can pull. He can do some of the things that the special centers do. The concern with Bradbury is just like I seen that was a weakness with Minnesota. I don't know how the Bears are going to scheme that up. Maybe you get a little bit more help from Jonah and Tooney. But yeah, That's my only concern. The ability to withstand a bull rush. And the fact that he's not Dahlman. Bradbury he's a solid starting center. Dahlman was an exceptional starting center. I've said it a couple times. He's top. He was top 5 for sure, and he wasn't 5. I don't know where you want to put him. I think Creed Humphrey is the best. I think Tyler Lindbaum is probably second best. You can make a case with Dahlman being as good as Tyler, maybe as good as Creed, but I had him 3 or 4 in the NFL.
Other things that Ben Johnson said, other things he said, and I think this is one of the more important things that draft flexibility. He said the Bears filled their primary holes during free agency, so they're going to do exactly what they did last year. They do not feel pressure to pick a specific position. They are going to get best player available,
and I agree with that.
Yeah, even if there's an edge rusher available at 25.
Absolutely. Whoever is the best player available, if it's a defensive tackle, if it's a safety, it's a corner, don't shoot at me. Let me make sure you ain't got your Glock in your hand. Even if a receiver.
No. Come on, man. No.
Listen.
No.
Listen.
No.
Listen. If it's a tackle, I know you just picked Ozzie last year, but Ben Johnson said he doesn't know when Ozzie's going to come back. And that hurts my heart. He didn't say just, I don't know when in training camp, when in the season. We don't know if Ozzie's going to come back at all.
Remember I said that. I'm like, I think 2026 is a wash for Ozzie.
That's a bad injury. The only thing is, it might not just be 2026 is a wash for Ozzie.
It could be. I mean, the injury he got is a significant injury, especially for somebody as a tackle, especially for somebody his size.
Ozzie's 6'8", 330 pounds.
Other two things that Ben said, and I think these are the most important things. The passing game must improve. He was blunt in this. He criticized the team's passing fundamentals. He pointed out there was some poor execution, and he spread that blame around. He said coaches got to be better scheming guys open. He said, but he also said guys got to be better in scramble drills. Guys got to stop dropping passes.
That part. Tiff is hard on Caleb. She's harder on Caleb than Ben Johnson is. But I told you I'm rewatching all the games. I have them saved. I notice there's times where Caleb, breaks containment, breaks the pocket. Guys are just kind of standing, or guys are just going in a straight line. When one of the most dangerous things is when the play breaks down and a quarterback gets out of the pocket. That's dangerous because the DB, first of all, it's hard to cover an NFL receiver for the 3 seconds that a route takes to develop, 2 to 3 seconds. That's hard. When Caleb gets out the pocket and breaks down containment like that, there should have been way more big plays. Way more big plays. I mean, I know being a Bears fan, and I hate to give these guys credit, but I know you remember the frustration when Brett Favre broke containment on us. Or how about Donovan McNabb back in 2001 when they came in and beat us?
That playoff game?
Yeah. When he got out the pocket, I mean, we had good coverage initially, but when he got out of the pocket and bought those extra 2 or 3 seconds, you're asking something out of a corner that just isn't realistic at the NFL level. The Bears should have been much better when Caleb broke containment. It's got to be on Caleb. There's got to be on the receivers, too. If you get 7, 8 seconds, you got to get open. Point blank, period. You got to get open.
He also made mention, speaking of the passing game, he believes Caleb Williams, he hasn't scratched the surface on his potential yet, but he did say last season, quote, he's played as poorly as he's going to play going forward, which I love to him. This is going to be a fresh thing for Caleb. Caleb is not used to having a second year in a system, as you know. Exactly. He transferred from Oklahoma, went to USC. He had, 3 different coaches? No, not 3 different, 2 different coaches. So, and you know what happened his rookie year with the Bears. It was a crazy thing. So I'm excited, and Ben is also excited to what we can put together with Caleb Williams. Another thing Ben said, he did touch on something that you brought up just a few minutes ago, at left tackle. This might make you happy. Braxton Jones has put on muscle. He said Braxton Jones is at quote yoked. That's what he said. He said he is rocked up.
Shout out to Erection Day. Good to see Braxton getting erect out here.
He said I think they said he's up to 310, something like that. Which kind of on the low side for a tackle, but if he's what do we talk about with Braxton? He was lighting the ass. He's lighting the ass. He did not have a good base. He was his leg days were insufficient.
It wasn't all his fault. We've been saying that Braxton Jones, since he got into the NFL, that he needed time in the weight room.
Mm-hmm.
That's been his thing. When you look at Braxton Jones, he has good kick. He can mirror edge rushers. He's a very good athlete. And we're talking about in an NFL where left tackles are the most athletic guys on the line. He's up there with his peers, with the upper, maybe not the elite left tackles athletically, but he's up there with all the good ones. If he can add some strength, Braxton goes from a mediocre left tackle, possibly top 12. I can't be mad at a guy scratching top 10 ability at left tackle.
The most important thing, Q, that he said 2025 is over. We done with that. The 11-win season from last year, that's in the past. It's in the past, bro. We are 0-0, and we are not going to be complacent. We are not going to get entitled just because we won 11 games, just because we had a playoff win for the first time since 2010. Yeah, since 2010. We're not going to rest on our laurels. This is a new age for the Bears. We're about stacking success. We're about building on our wins. We're about, shout out to Jameis Winston, eating W's and getting fat off of them. I love it for us because we get to live this. We get to live in this era. We get to have that type of coach. I can't wait till they put his statue up.
It's coming.
With
a Caleb Williams statue.
Caleb Williams not getting a statue. Caleb Williams is getting his own street named after him. Caleb Williams gonna get his own day in Chicago.
Bear down. How many Super Bowls?
Bear down. 3 at least. At least 3.
Minimum 3.
NFL's trying to hold the Bears back because they know what's about to come, and that's what. And with Erection Day around the corner, that's what she said. Appreciate you tapping into this latest episode from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. Don't matter if you was watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify or Apple. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with everybody on the block, and hit the notification bell so you never miss none of our daily drops. And to all the guys from the Shy, we say 3 things: bear down, fly the W, and sell the team, Jerry.